Dynamic entrance kicking in the door like God. Turn up to the max, shooting energy up to the sky. Tap into the station 935, it's time to rock. Swooshy color backgrounds just to let you know we fly. Undefeated, never beaten, cause we got the skill. Striking all this black gold, you would think we had a drill. We got what you need, homie, so come and get your fill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill. It's time to anime and chill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill.
And away we go. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. You are now flying with Fly 93.5, the flyest station in the nation. And you have just tuned in to Anime and Chill. And you are now chilling with your favorite two N-words, the biggest anime nerds. We can say it.
We can say it. You can't.
So, today, we are still in season 2. Alright, I think that's the last time I'm gonna do that one. But, so, what we got going on this week?
Man, look, I've been checking out a couple little shows I want to talk about. Nothing too major. What One Piece got going on, some new Dragon Ball Super news.
We need to start living up to our namesake, so I guess today is going to be one of those days.
One of those days.
Because I want to talk about a special request that was asked of me from my boy Chauncey Smith on Facebook. He asked me to check out Assassination Classroom and just to kind of give my thoughts on it. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some One Piece, like you said, because I do want to get into some of that good old Zoro lore that we got popping out now with what's been going on and how he's trending. We're going to get into that a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, man, you know what? I think I'm going to hold off the wrestling news this week, and we're going to save that for next week. I think this week we just going to go hard on the anime, live up to our namesake, and do it that way.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me.
Let's start off with, I want to talk about some Assassination Classroom real quick.
Okay.
Since that was the request, I was going to save the request for later on, but let's get to it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, as they say.
Yeah.
I checked it out, and from the premise, they start you off and they tell you that this octopus-like alien comes to Earth after destroying a portion of the moon, lands on Earth, and says that within a year he's going to destroy the Earth if the government cannot find a way to assassinate him. They tried multiple times with professional assassins, but they could not hit their mark. Namely because this motherfucker moves at Mach 20. I'm gonna let that one sink in for a second.
Yeah, Mach 20.
He moves at Mach 20. I suggest you let that one marinate. So, for him, he's damn near moving at light speed.
Yeah.
Close to it, but not quite. So, there's that, and then they can't seem to knock him off, so they take a class of delinquent kids, and they have this alien teach the kids how to assassinate him, or at least here he's teaching them the curriculum of class. Like, he's actually teaching them math, algebra, geology, which I'm guessing the study of Earth. So pretty much he's teaching them, reading, writing, and arithmetic. But in doing so, they're supposed to be trying to kill him.
Yes. Because this is a classroom of assassins.
Correct. And so they modified these weapons that only affect the teacher, this octopus creature that they call Kudo Sensei. And Kudo Sensei is more than what you think he is. I only got about 13 episodes in. I'm still watching it. I think it's dope. But just within that little bit of time, I've learned, he's more than meets the eye. They're telling us he's an alien, but we find out later it might be not the case. So they have knives that are specially made for him. They're technically rubber, or at least they feel rubber to normal humans, but to him, they feel like an actual dagger.
Right.
That could kill him.
I think that's pretty creative too.
Then they have BB guns. They shoot these BBs that are specifically designed to hurt him. But they're just BBs to everybody else. And so to watch the progression of this and to find out that oh man, I forgot the gym teacher's name and I just had it in my head. But the gym teacher, who's the one who actually brings in Kudo Sensei and introduces him to the class of delinquents, which they call E-class, because they have all of the classes ranked by how well students perform, like as far as academically. You see what I'm saying? So there's A class, B class, C class, and D class. Those are the normal classes, and then E class is the class of what you call it, outcasts, and the ones that no one expects to actually make anything out of their lives. They're the troubled teens, so to speak. So they put them all in one group and stuck them out in the fucking sticks.
Right, and like a portable.
Right, hoping one, even if they do kill Kudo Sensei, no one will ever know. Two, if they don't, we never expected you to anyway. So it's a lose-lose situation. You see what I mean? And then Kudo Sensei actually starts to teach them real life lessons. So much so that they start becoming better charactered people. They start holding themselves with pride. And it pisses off the principal, who's the one who had the gym teacher hire, or who he's the one who brought in Kudo Sensei to the school. But he's also the one that set it up to have him killed. But the gym teacher is the one that's kind of the handler over everything. He's the one that we see all the time. Mr. Karasuma. There we go. I knew I was going to remember. Karasuma. That's the name of the gym teacher. So, at first he comes across as though he doesn't really care. Like look, I put this class together because they told me I had to. But I think deep down he might be either like some kind of federal agent that's just working for the school, or he might be an assassin himself, because there's a scene where he's training these kids and like, dude.
Right, you have to have been there.
Thank you. So, yeah, the principal, I don't think they've given his name. If they have, I don't remember. All I know is that motherfucker's evil. Like, evil to no end. Like, bro,
he's like, fuck them kids, evil.
But not all the kids. Just the kids of E-class. Because he's like, no, in order for the rest of the kids to perform at their highest potential, they need some kind of motivation. That motivation is the delinquent outcast kids that they can shame and point at and say, see, don't be like them. They're not going anywhere. They have no future. So, you need to hit them books, study, so that you don't end up like them. And it's like adds layers to the show. Because the whole trying to kill this octopus like creature just straightforward. The first 2 or 3 episodes is like, okay, yeah. Not saying that they ran it into the ground, but it was like,
we trying to kill this nigga.
right. So okay, but what else is going on? So that's when they start bringing in other teachers like Miss Ayana Yelovich. She's the quote unquote hot blonde that comes in. And at first she tries to do what most women do. She tries to seduce him and trick him into, going into a shed where she had a firing squad waiting for him. And only thing is, this firing squad wasn't using the BBs. They were using real bullets.
Like, yeah, come on.
And so she gets him all the way back into this shed. And when they get in there, she tells him, she really starts playing up the seduction. And that's when you see these men in the shadows with guns. And so she's like, I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna go get comfortable and I'm gonna change. I'll be right back. Don't move. And he's blushing like a real man would blush. And so next thing you know, all of these guns go off. Like heavy machine guns, and she's naming them. She's like M16, M25, M52, and she's just naming these guns. And they're all heavy machinery guns, like 50 cal and up. And after all of the bullets are done raining, she goes, he's gotta be a bullet-riddled corpse now. We're gonna go get the corpse, go get paid, and we are up out of here. Fuck these kids. She's more along the lines of fuck these kids than anybody, right? Because they brought her in, her cover was she was the English teacher. But then she wasn't teaching them shit. She just had them sitting in the classroom quiet while she read books. But nah. So she finally get Kuro Sensei in this shed, spray him up with, well, her team sprays him up with bullets. She comes out from her hiding spot. What does she find? This nigga standing with all the fucking bad guys in his arms and all the bullets on the floor.
Oh, man.
And he goes, yeah, see, I knew you were trying to set me up. I knew you were trying to set me up a while ago. And the fact that you used real bullets was bad. Because I could smell lead a mile away. And that shit really has no effect on me. He was like, that's why they've been using them special BBs. So, sorry. After beating them up, next thing you know, the camera cuts to outside the shed. And now the kids outside talking like, what do you think they're doing in there? They're like, you know what they're doing in there. Like, come on, man, they two adults. You know what adults do when they get lonely? And so you start hearing this woman moan and,
Oh, wow.
She comes out and now she's no longer in her blouse and skirt. She's in this gym outfit. And she's wobbling as she's walking. Oh my God. It would be easier to explain what he did with those tentacles, or what he didn't do with those tentacles, than what he did. And she was like, and then that last tentacle, it did something. She was like, it did so much more. And all the kids looked at him like, kudos, they was like, what do you mean he did more? She passed out. They looked at Kuro Sensei. What does she mean you did more with that tentacle? What did you do with that last tentacle? He blushes and goes, what do I mean? He's like, what do I say? Adults have needs. And he left it at that. And I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, that motherfucker had a hentai scene in there. That's what the fuck happened. We had some tentacle porn going on around in there. But, so outside of that, that was like the first 3 or 4 episodes. Once we start doing that, then they start introducing new students into the class. And the first new student we got was supposed to be like this demon child that was so bad that he was too bad for the delinquent class. Come to find out, he's best friends with the main character, Nagase. Like, they grew up together. And so he shows up and everybody's so afraid of him. Nagase just talks to him regular, like, sup? And him and Nagase have a conversation and they cool and this, that, and the third. Thing is, when they brought in the new kid, Karma, I forget his whole name, but I know they call him Karma. The teachers made a deal with him. They were like, if you can kill Kuro Sensei, not only will we clear your record, we'll put you in like C class.
It's a huge step up from E.
Right. And he's like, fuck it, I just want to kill a teacher. I give a fuck what you give me.
None of that extra shit.
I just want to kill a teacher, and that's his whole thing. That's what made him a quote unquote demon child, because they were saying in his last school he threatened the teacher. But so he shows up and immediately he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna kill him on my own. I don't need none of y'all. I'm just gonna walk up and start trying to slice his ass. And again, Kuro Sensei moves at Mach 20. So it's like trying to hit a hologram.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it.
No matter how hard you try, you're always gonna miss. Unless you can move at Mach 20. We'll come back to that in a moment. So, Karma tries everything to get at Kuro Sensei. He tries trickery. Hell, he even tries to play on Kuro Sensei's quote-unquote humanity, as far as him being an actual teacher and actually caring about his students and not wanting any of his students to die. So Karma comes up with this bright idea. I'm gonna jump off a cliff, holding this gun that shoots the special BBs that kill you. Will you risk your life to save mine? Because if you do, this shit is over. You save me, I kill you, we all go home. So he forced Kuro Sensei to think out the box. So what he did was he used his tentacles to create a net and caught him. And so he was like, that was a nice trick. He was like, that was actually a pretty good attempt at my life. He's like, you would make a great student if you still want to go here. Karma decides, okay, fine, can't beat him, join him. Then they bring in this AI. I forget the whole title of it, but the initials were AIFA. They renamed her, they gave her a human name. I think it was like Yuri or something like that. And I think that's what it was. I think it was Yuri. And so, yeah, when she first came in, she was just a robot, an AI. And it was this tall box that had a small little screen on it for her face. And she introduced herself. She told him who she was. She told him that she was an artificial intelligence robot that was pretty much designed to kill Kuro Sensei. And so after after the first episode where all the kids in the class just pulled guns on him and riddled the classroom, he made a rule: no firearms in the classroom, because it distracts from the learning. So this AI, not knowing that, comes in, tells him, yeah, like, no, I'm designed to kill you. And so he's like, okay, so are you gonna try? And the bitch goes offline. And so he's like, okay, so all the kids are like, that's weird. Anyway, so they just going through their regular day of doing their lecture and going through their regular studies, and then all of a sudden that bitch turns back on. You see the sides open up and a mound of fucking guns pop out. and they all just spray at this nigga at once. And he's dodging, moving, still teaching class.
Wow.
But he's moving so fast, he's made copies of himself.
Oh, yeah.
The whole after
That's
image
right.
shit.
Uh-huh.
And he's moving so fast that he's, like I said, made copies of himself. And after doing that, once all the bullets run out or the BBs run out, Kuro Sensei says, look, you weren't here when I made the rule, so I'm gonna let you know now. We do not discharge firearms in the classroom. It distracts from the learning. And so the AI is like, okay, I'll take that into consideration. 5 minutes later, more guns. Because what happens is it was learning as it was going on. And so it just came out with more guns, bigger guns. And he's like, no, you don't understand. And so what happens is the next day, all the kids show up for class. Everybody sits down, they're going through their lecture. When the AI turns on, it tries to whip out the guns, but it can't. And so it says, excuse me, you're hindering me from using my weaponry. That could count as harming a student. Remember your deal, you're not supposed to harm the students. And so he's like, I know, but you're not, I told you no discharging firearms, but you're not supposed to harm the students. You could be breaking your, and then one of the students, one of the bullies in the class, stands up, God damn it was me. I tied you up. I was sick of you always shooting. He said no guns in class. Why can't you listen? He was like, you supposed to be a computer, right? He was like, how can a computer be that stupid?
That's what I'm
And so it took what he said into consideration. It went offline. That night, Kuro Sensei made upgrades to the AI's system. And the next day, it came on, had this whole the whole front was a screen. She had a whole body, had a background where she was in like a field, and it was pretty, and she didn't talk so robotic. She actually talked like a real person, and the students kind of interacted with her, and everything was going smooth. That's when they named her Yuri, because they were saying, how do you say artificial or robot in Japanese? I forgot what it was. It was flower. How do you say flower in Japanese? Yuri. And it was like, okay, so that's what we'll call you, Yuri, because we need to name you something pretty since you're a girl. I know, Americans, that's misogyny. I don't want to hear that. So, everybody's enjoying dealing with Yuri. The day goes smooth. That night, the creators of Yuri show up to do their upgrades that they usually do. And they saw what Kuro Sensei did. And they was like, the fuck? No, none of this shit is, no. This is not important. None of this shit where your personality, that's not important. The only thing that's important is killing your target. So, they start stripping her of all of the upgrades that Kuro Sensei made to her system. Saying, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this, you don't need that. And she's crying like, no, please don't take it. No. And so, the next day, she went back to her original look. And again, was talking robotic, and everybody was like, oh no, what happened? And that's when she said, oh no, my parents told me that that other stuff wasn't important. She was like, but you all liked me when I was the way I was before, so I hid away some of the personality traits that Kuro Sensei gave me in a hidden folder that they couldn't find. So that's how I'm still personable. She was like, I'm still gonna try to kill you though. And he was like, good, that's what you're supposed to do. They brought in another kid. This last kid they brought in, that was the dude that had the tentacles for hair.
Yeah.
He had so much pomp and circumstance surrounding him for this nigga to just be a fucking bore. Like, I mean, he was like he had no personality. He was more robotic than the AI that they brought in. And this motherfucker was a living being. He had a handler who was supposed to keep him from going out of control. And again, they said he was genetically designed to kill Kuro Sensei. So much so that they're brothers. And that shit threw everybody.
That sounds like Mew and Mewtwo.
You're exactly correct. That's exactly what that is. They created this new kid who's not really a kid from some of the DNA of Kuro Sensei. The dude's handler explained it a lot better, but in a nutshell, he was like, yeah, no, they're related without ever being born from the same parents. So they set up their attempt on Kuro Sensei's life head on. Like, they planned it. Like, they set an appointment and everything. Like how motherfuckers bully you in high school.
Yeah,
you,
3 o'clock.
me, 3 o'clock.
Right.
That's
Niggas
exactly
just
what
set
it
a
was.
fucking appointment. I mean,
So, Kuro Sensei shows up at the classroom at 3 o'clock. They got the desks set up in a square to make like a ring. And the kid's handler said, we're going to make this simple. If you step outside of the ring, your life is forfeit. Since the whole goal is to kill you, either he kills you in the ring or you forfeit your life and we kill you anyway. So, this kid starts going off. The first thing he does, slice off Kuro Sensei's arm. And it's like, before he can react, it's like, the fuck? His arm drops. So, Kuro Sensei, he moves out the way. He gets some distance between him and the kid. He regrows his arm, but now he's breathing hard and he's starting to sweat. So the kid starts coming at him, trying to attack him. He's dodging him for the most part, but again, it's burning energy, and that's what the kid's handler is saying. He's like, yeah, no, see, we had this shit planned to a T. We know how fast you move. But when you put that shit in a small space, really don't mean shit. Now do it. Because you can only move so far. No matter how fast you go, it's only a certain amount of space. So that's when the kid starts using his hair as tentacles. And what he does is he destroys all 8 of Kuro Sensei's feet. Or all 6 of his feet. The tentacles that he's standing on completely destroys them. So now, Kuro Sensei has to regrow 6 limbs. So again, breathing hard, sweating. And that's when the dude is like, yeah, see, you're burning up too much energy. You can't keep dodging forever. Eventually, he's gonna get you. And right as he says it, the kid stabs through Kuro Sensei's body. Thinks he's got him. Then he realizes, nope, Kuro Sensei molted. He can shed his skin and turn into this silver liquid and then move around as a liquid. I thought that shit was dope. But they knew about that shit too. So eventually, he regrows his body. But again, he's still tired. So the final blow, this kid thinks he has him. as he's going to hit Kuro Sensei, he's caught by this jelly looking shit. But it looks like a jellyfish. Because it's got tentacles. What it is, Kuro Sensei wrapped him up in his molt. Tied it up, threw the kid out the window. He lands outside. Technically, he lost.
Yeah, you lose that.
And Kuro Sensei told him, he's like, look, all that speed, all that veracity, all that power means nothing if you can't use your brain. If you're not tactical, you can't win a fight. You need to know how to use your power, know how to use your speed. You can't just, you know what I'm saying, charge in head first. So the kid's handler was like, fine, and I'll take him and we'll be back once we've, you know what I'm saying.
We're gonna go back and train.
Right.
Some more. Come back.
And so
the
Kuro
kid.
Sensei was like, no, he's my student, which means he's under my care. Kuro Sensei goes to reach for the kid. The handler blows his finger off. I said he's under my provision. I take care of him. We will be back before the end of the school year. Because he will kill you. They disappeared. I'm gonna kind of leave it right there for the moment. There's a whole lot more to Assassination Classroom. I think it's a dope show. Y'all need to check it out. Like I said, I've gotten like 13 episodes in. I've really only talked about stuff from at least like the first 5 or 6, maybe going into 8 or 9. But
Who's
yeah, right. But what shows you got going on?
All right, man. Well, look, I just happened upon a show last night on Netflix called Ragnarok.
Record of Ragnarok?
Nah.
Oh, the other show.
Yeah, it's just called Ragnarok. So I said, well, let me check this shit out. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm into it. I'm 2 episodes deep. I was watching it late last night. You know, I gotta work and everything. So, but it's actually pretty good. I like how it started. How old buddy got his powers. He ended up helping some old man across the street. Mm-hmm. The old man was in an electric wheelchair, and it died on him. So it's the main character, his little brother, and their mom. And they're in the car, and the little brother's talking shit like, "Oh, why is old man trying to cross the street?" Da 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 da. So the main character gets out, and he goes to help this man.
The old man.
When it comes to this old man face, he's got an eye patch on. I said,
Odin.
That's fucking Odin. That's fucking Odin. And then there's this lady watching him. And when she sees him, she walks over to him and she says, "Thank you so much." And she takes her hand and she rubs it across his forehead. And then you see lightning start to hit his eyes. I was like, ooh, shit. So I like how that happened. And then as, you know, the next few days go, he starts to notice changes. He doesn't need his glasses no more. Mm-hmm. He's getting stronger. He got real cool with this chick. And she ends up dying in the first episode. She ends up dying in the first episode. And he's you know, he's angry or whatever, and he sees this little hammer or whatnot sitting outside, and he grabs it, and in his rage he throws that bitch, and that bitch flies into the sky, and then lightning bolts start to hit.
Oh wow.
I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to watch that shit. But yeah, so that's a little bit of new shit that I've been in. Yeah, check that out. It's on Netflix. It's called Ragnarok.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that one out.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, I gotta watch, you know, give you that OP.
Yeah.
You know, what the latest shit is going on. I ain't gonna spoil it too much. I mean, to be honest with you, really, we didn't really get much action, but we did get something special. We got to see Zoro with his second in command. We've got to see him use Conqueror's Haki. So that's got him trending right now.
Yeah.
So
Like, in a major way, bro.
Yes.
Because I saw the clip and the way my man whipped that head around with that eye, like, bruh, if looks could kill, niggas would be pushing up daisies.
For real. So, yeah, you know they're getting closer and closer to this raid against
the raid
Kaido
on
and
Kaido.
Orochi. So, just stay posted for that. M'Baku, or the actor who played M'Baku, is set to play Batman in a Spotify joint. I believe it's a Spotify joint, like a podcast joint. He's gonna be playing Batman. I gotta
Now,
do
is he
some
gonna
more.
be cosplaying Batman on a podcast? Or
I don't know.
Is the podcast producing a film with him playing Batman?
Gotta find out for sure, but I want to say yes. I don't think M'Baku, or at least the actor who plays M'Baku, is gonna cosplay Batman for
Right.
fun.
Right.
So, I mean, at least I would.
I mean,
If I'm gonna play the billionaire, you could at least pay me.
right. But then
You could
again,
at least pay me.
when
But
was the last time we seen a black Batman?
you serious?
Exactly.
Like, nigga, what? Michael B. Jordan is in talks to be a Black Superman. So, yeah, I mean,
I heard about that.
we're finna get that. So,
I'm like, why do we have to get black versions of white characters? Why can't we just get our black characters? Like Static Shock.
yeah, when y'all dropping the Static Shock movie?
Bruh, I saw a poster for a Static Shock movie. And I think it says something like 2022. 2022 or
okay.
2023.
Maybe something's in the works.
But it could have just been, some fan-made shit.
Dragon Ball Super. They are dropping a new movie in 2022.
Yeah.
And it's called Dragon Ball Super Hero. So,
Superhero, man.
yes. So they're going to be introducing some new characters, and I've seen some drawings of what they look like, and they look like, if you remember the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
Remember the warrior who kind of resembled Cell?
Yeah.
They kind of look like that.
Okay.
So
So it might be a whole race of those type of people.
it could be, they could be messing with another universe.
True.
So
Because with the Tournament of Power, that opened up the multiverse.
right. So it could be that. It is confirmed though that there will be a time skip in this movie. Pan won't be a baby anymore. She'll be small toddler, like maybe 2 or 3.
Now
maybe 4.
I wonder if they're gonna make that time skip canon.
Be nice, probably. It'd be nice, cause then we'd get Teen Goten and Trunks. So we get to see Teen Gotenks.
Right.
Put him in some badass fighting for a little minute.
They might take what GT tried to do and do it right.
Yeah, cause GT did give us the teens, but they were dope.
Yeah.
Let's not even speak on that.
Yeah. Cause, bruh, that was just atrocious.
But it was better than the movie that they tried to do.
Which
I watch
movie is
GT over
that?
Evolution any day.
Which movie is that? Cause I used to have a Japanese movie, GT movie.
No, I'm talking about the real live action movie.
Oh, yeah. No.
I watch GT
no.
over that shit any day.
No.
That shit right there.
That Dragon Ball Evolution, man. Hollywood owes all anime fans for that bullshit that they tried
Hollywood
to
just sold us
call
some money.
Dragon Ball anything. Like, bruh.
Should have called it Dragon Balls, because that's what
the
y'all
fuck
niggas was
they
doing. Dragon Balls with that one.
Like,
But that's all I got for right now. Things to look forward to. I almost got a new video game the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Madden 21.
Huh.
Yeah, I know.
Last time you played Madden?
Man, shit, I can't even call it. Last time I played Madden. The last time I played Madden, I was playing against my nephew, and it was on PlayStation 4, so he was talking shit. So of course he won, because I don't play PlayStation.
Right.
But that was a couple years ago, even still. But I thought against it. So fuck that shit. Started watching Netflix, and that's where I came across
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So-
Matter of fact, talk to me about that record of Ragnarok, because I wanted to get on it, but I haven't got into it yet.
Man, let me tell you, that record of Ragnarok, yo, that shit is like if you took Baki.
Which that's
Or-
another anime we need to talk about sometime.
Oh man, yeah, Baki goes in. It's like if you took Baki or Keegan Ashita and you mixed it with like some god shit.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's
Like that Blood of Zeus shit.
yeah. Pretty much you have the gods have made a decision to wipe out humanity. But some of the gods are willing to give humanity a fighting chance. So therein lies this competition. Gods versus man.
Right.
And bro, they bring out everybody. For the gods you have Zeus, of course, and he's this old frail man. Thor, Loki's there, Hades is there, Odin's son is there himself. Bro, it's like a shit ton of them. Poseidon, it's like a shit ton of gods. And then on the human side, it's it's a few guys, a few warriors that you don't, they're cartoon characters,
Right.
characters made up or whatever.
Right,
But then they have
historical people.
historical people like Adam, for instance, the first
As
man.
in- yeah.
Like, yo, you had Adam the first man going one-on-one with Zeus. That shit was fucking epic. Like, that was epic. Adam was putting it down for humanity, son. And he lost that fight, unfortunately. But, he was fighting Zeus. He didn't really think Zeus was going to
Right.
lose.
Right.
That was pretty much a given. But, it was whose ever idea it was, that shit is fucking sweet.
I bet.
That shit is fucking
Because
sweet.
when you bring in the Greek gods, which the Greek gods, when you look at it, it was 12 of them. I'm not gonna sit here and talk like I remember all 12. I do remember, the most famous ones like Zeus, Athena, Hera, Hades, Ares, Poseidon, Aphrodite, and I only remember, I will never not remember Aphrodite, because if you're like me and you used to watch the Hercules cartoon show that used to come on, every time this chick came on screen, it was like she had these 3 angelic black women that followed her, and they would, Aphrodite, 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 the goddess of love. And I was like, okay, that's kind of catchy. So I just will never forget her name because of that song.
I didn't watch the cartoon version of Hercules. I watched the Kevin Sorbo version.
I watched that one too.
That one was dope though. I ain't gonna lie.
I watched that one. I watched Young Hercules with Ryan Gosling.
You watched Xena?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And I only watched Xena because I kind of thought the bitch was hot. That's just me. That's just me being a pervert. But I'm okay with that.
That's great.
Freaking but nah. So yeah, but I'm really big into things that deal with historical shit, and that's why, like, when you was telling me about the blood of Zeus, I was like, Okay, wait, no, it wasn't. It was Thurman that told me about the Blood of Zeus. Yeah, he told me to check it out because he also told me to check out Jupiter's Legacy. And yeah, we've already spoken on that
Yeah,
one.
man, that's season 1 and done, and that shit kind of sucked.
Which I think that's why they're not getting a season 2.
Hey,
which,
speaking of Jupiter's Legacy, remember that little clip that I had showed you when Superman and Homelander are roasting Omni-Man?
yeah,
And then they get to fighting, and
Yeah.
they start fucking with Saitama.
yeah.
If you look at that newspaper he's looking at, Jupiter's Legacy characters are on that newspaper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, so they hit everybody.
Everybody.
I didn't, because I was wondering why they didn't have a Utopian in there. I was like, because if it's all Superman,
Right.
come on, man.
You said you bit my whole flow. Word for word.
Bar for bar. Bro, and the fact that Homelander was just being a dick, like, yeah, man, he did kind of steal his whole flow.
Right. Yeah, that's
He was
bad.
he's like, what? No, I'm completely different. I'm a Viltrumite. He was like,
Viltrumite?
a Viltrumite. Oh, you mean like a Kryptonian?
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. But thank you, somebody, for deciding to take a stab at that shit. Getting way too many Superman ads
Right.
out of here.
Right. See, that make me want to go back to doing what me and Bo did, where we did the whole voiceover for the Hulk versus Superman. I kind of want to do another one of those joints where I take a clip and do voiceover work for it. I'm gonna find one and I might do that and just throw that up on YouTube as, a little funny ha thing, just to kind of add to Anime and Chill. I'm gonna throw that on the Anime and Chill channel, and it's gonna be exclusive. So all of y'all that are listening to us on Fly 93.5, man, go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on Twitter. All of that. Hit us up on YouTube, because we do post the shows there. So if you miss it, don't panic. We got it up on YouTube. You can look up Armand Joseph on YouTube or type in Anime and Chill. Capital A, capital N, capital C. Go check us out. Peep the whole first season. We got season 1 up there, and I'm putting season 2 up there. So yeah, man. We got anything else?
Yo, for all my local people out there, stay safe. I don't know if it's still storming out there, but it was coming cats and
Right.
dogs, man.
Right. We saw lightning strikes like,
I'm talking about, bro.
bruh. For a minute, I thought that nigga Thor was up there fighting with somebody.
Son, don't even play.
Bruh.
I'm already
Cause you
waiting
know they
running.
be filming a lot of them Avenger movies here in Georgia, nigga.
Yeah, they could have some shit going.
Shit.
The way shit going, I might run into another timeline version of myself tomorrow.
Right?
You never know.
Especially after what happened at the end of Loki.
But you want to know something that is crazy though? I've had people I know come to me and be like, "Yo, I could have sworn I seen you here today," and I'm like, "For real?" And they be like, "Yo, I seen this person." Matter of fact, one day, my sister working at this hotel, she called me. She was like, "Yo, swear to God, I just seen this person look just like you." And I was like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yo," she said, "Yo, no lie." She like, look at his license and everything, looked just like me. So I mean,
Oh, wow.
I don't think that's not possible. So,
Right?
I would have loved to see this nigga myself though.
Yeah, man. That whole time travel shit that's a box of worms for another episode, man.
Boy, that's
So, what I will say is this. Final word. What's the word, nerd?
man, the final word is peace out.
Peace, love, and tranquility to all my folks. So, if you haven't done it, go get that Fly 93.5 app. Go to your Google Play, your Apple App Store, wherever you get your apps from. Type in Fly 93.5, grab that app, and come listen to us, man. If you can't get us that way, you can catch us online at radio.fly935.com/listen live. And if you want to hit us up on Twitter or let's do Instagram first because I like doing it that way. So if you want to hit us up on Instagram, hit us up at Anime and Chill 88. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, you can hit us up at Armand Joseph. If you want to hit us up on Facebook, you can hit us up at Armand.Joseph.9. Spell it out all the time. ARMOND.JOSEPH.9. Hit us up, man. Let us know what you think of the show. Give us, if you want to request an anime for us to review, for us to talk about, you can hit us up and let us know. Hey, man, talk about this show. Hey, man, talk about that show. And, you know, we'll do our best to work it into the rotation. So, hey, man, what time is it?
It's time to get the hell on about you.
Okay. So grab your favorite person, throw your favorite tunes, kick your feet up because it is time to anime and chill.
Anime and chill.
Peace out, bro.
Peace.
Dynamic entrance kicking in the door like God. Turn up to the max, shooting energy up to the sky. Tap into the station 935, it's time to rock. Swooshy color backgrounds just to let you know we fly. Undefeated, never beaten, cause we got the skill. Striking all this black gold, you would think we had a drill. We got what you need, homie, so come and get your fill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill. It's time to anime and chill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill.